Well, here we are for part 2 of Crack 5.2, properties of elements. We're looking at the properties of metals and non-metals, and this time we're looking at the polished samples. So I took this little bit of steel wool and I gave each sample a polish. Again, we have sulphur, aluminium, carbon, silicon, tin, zinc, lead, magnesium and iron. First of all, I polished this top surface of the sulphur. Didn't really make that much difference. Just this surface is polished compared with the unpolished surface. Hasn't really made much difference at all. I can't see any change in the luster or the colour or anything like that. So pretty much the same, no change in sulphur there. Let's have a look at the aluminium. I think you'll notice that this came up perhaps a little bit brighter. You can see where I have polished and haven't polished. So you can see that's come up a bit brighter, a bit lighter, definitely smoother. So polishing does have an effect there on the aluminium. Here's carbon. I'm not going to pick it up because I get all grubby, but I can guarantee you that there was no change in the polished surface of the carbon compared with the unpolished. So it just started to crumble, made it a bit smoother, but hasn't really changed the appearance there. Silicon, again, polishing it just made the surface more cloudy. So definitely not more shiny, but it just sort of scuffed the surface, as you can imagine, with a pure tubing like this, a soft tubing. It's just scuffed up the surface there, made it a bit grubby rather than giving it any more shine or anything like that. Here's our sample of tin. You might be able to see I've polished here, haven't polished here, so it's come up more shiny. Definitely more shiny, more bright, a lighter colour, so that polishing did have an effect there. Definitely a bit more shiny, a bit more brighter. Here's some zinc. Polished versus unpolished, hardly a difference. It was quite hard, the zinc, and polishing didn't have much of an effect. If anything, made it maybe a little bit brighter, a little bit lighter. So that's the zinc. Lead, quite a noticeable effect. I'm not sure if you can see there, but this section I've polished, lighter, quite a, instead of a dark grey, it's come up as a lighter silver grey colour, definitely smoother, so polishing seems to have had an effect on the lead. Again, another significant difference for magnesium. Not sure if you can pick it up there, but this end quite bright and now quite silver, quite lustrous, quite smooth and bright, compared with the other side, which is a little bit more dull, that hasn't been polished. So polishing having a big effect on the magnesium, Mg on the periodic table. And the iron wire, I thought it came up more brightly. Not a big difference though, maybe a lighter colour eventuated, so some effect of polishing, lighter, brighter, but that's about it, not a huge difference to the unpolished side. So that's the iron wire. Alright, that concludes the polished appearance of the metals and non-metals.